The Lyons family has become one of the most recognisable gangs in the United Kingdom, consistently being in headlines in not just the UK, but Spain and Bali too. The gang, consisting of 300 and more members, were regularly causing havoc, especially against the Daniel family from Postle Park, who they had been locked in a feud with for over a quarter of a century. With over 150 gang members jailed and some dead, one man seemed to be invisible or untouchable. He had never been sentenced, only attacked once in his youth, then everything came at once for Stephen Lyons. Summer in Glasgow, 2001. Tops are off and Neds are bouncing from argument to argument. In a street, in a house, in the north side of Glasgow, there was a party. The place was packed and the music was blaring. Through the back of the house was a room with a group of people standing in disbelief of their discovery. They grabbed everything they could and slipped away unnoticed. It was well known that the house hosting the party was owned by the Daniel family, the top crime gang in the area. A dealer working for the Daniels stumbled through to the back room to get more drugs, where he sobered up upon his discovery. £20,000 of drugs stolen and no one seen anything. Within the next few days, the Daniels connected the stolen drugs to the Club Boys, a Milton-based youth gang tightly connected with the Lyons family from Milton. This one summer's night set the precedent for future laws, required multiple targeted task forces and operations, ensued by a manhunt across Europe and Southeast Asia. Two sides competing for a drugs market in the country with the highest drug deaths and was nicknamed the murder capital of Europe. From 2001 to 2006, there were tit-for-tat attacks between the Daniels and the Lyons. An incident occurred that kicked the feud up a level. In the cold, diesel air of a mechanic's garage stood three men. Outside, two hitmen from the Daniels family, dressed in long black coats, entered the garage and opened fire. Once the chaos settled, there were three victims left, one dead and two were wounded. The garage was targeted because the owner was the brother of Eddie Lyons Sr., David Lyons, who was shot but survived. His son Michael Lyons was killed. The last man who was shot and was shot in the back was Stephen Lyons, the now boss of the family. He survived and fled the country where his world would change again. A key figure directing all this violence was Gerbil Carroll, who was a top enforcer for the Daniels crime family. He was known heavily for his alien abductions, where he would kidnap rival dealers in the night, torture them and tax them. He would then leave them at the side of the road to be found. When the police would question the victims, they would claim that they had no memory of the night. This method, in a close bond with Jamie Daniel, head of the Daniel family, led Gerbil to be his most trusted man. Gerbil wasn't inciting these attacks for money, it was revenge, a grudge dating back to their school days, where Gerbil was bullied by Lyons family members, causing him to grow close with Jamie Daniel. Gerbil went from being bullied to being named public enemy number one, all in pursuit of revenge on the people that bullied him. Ironically or expectedly, Gerbil met his end in an Asda car park while waiting to meet with another dealer. Locked in the back seat of his black 3-door Audi A3, he was shot in the head by two gunmen who had pulled up in a car. Now, there was a power shift. After fleeing the country to Spain, Stephen Lyons made friends with the Kinahan cartel. This connection would be a massive advantage for the Lyons in their tough war, while giving the Kinahans access to a lucrative market in Scotland. The Lyons' victory was now secured, and even better, the head of the Daniel family, Jamie Daniel, died from cancer in 2016. Now Stephen was on top. No Jamie, no Gerbil, and he wanted to let everyone know. Robert Daniel, brother of Jamie, was chased by the Lyons team before being beaten in his home. The Daniels, badly beaten, fired back and tried to murder Ross Monaghan while he was outside of school, dropping his daughter off.
The big bang, I thought it was an air rifle going off, and the kids were asking what happened, and I was just saying, just hurry up, because it was so loud, we were late. That was it, I don't know what it was. I seen the kids that were further round towards the school, they all kind of jumped, but then they kept walking, and then that's when I turned the other way, so I don't know. Everybody in here, you know everybody, so I'm really, really shocked that this has happened here. It's horrible. I hope none of the kids seen it. I'm really shocked by it.
A gunman dressed as a woman opened fire, hitting Ross twice, but he escaped. There was then a wave of attacks on individuals connected to the Daniels, with Stephen Bonzo Daniel, now head of the family, being the worst one. Stephen Daniel was chased while driving his Skoda Octavia in a high-speed pursuit that began north of Glasgow and ended in a crash, while Lyons members hacked, slashed and stabbed Stephen Daniels with various weapons, which detached his upper jaw from his skull and left his nose dangling off his face. First responders initially thought he had been shot in the face. He later found out there was a GPS tracker on his car, but told the judge he didn't have his family's enemies. In total, 6 men were jailed for a combined sentence of 104 years for this attack. Stephen Lyons' position was now strong and stayed that way up until 2024, where Stephen received an unlikely ally that had his own vendetta. Before Stephen left the country and fled to Spain, he had a £200,000 bounty placed on his head by the Daniels. Numerous incidents taking place related to him caused authorities to start Operation Engagement, a crackdown against the two clans. 5 years later, this operation is still ongoing. They had a major breakthrough when French and Belgian authorities hacked into the encrypted messaging service EncroChat and caught Darren Big Popper in their net. He was strongly linked to the Lyons family and the Kinahan cartel, with senior members being impressed about how he runs his operation in Scotland. Another man, Robert Kelby, who had strong links to Lyons and Kinahans, was in a feud with Edinburgh dealer Mark Richardson, who attacked his friend who played for Celtic FC outside a nightclub. The charges were dropped for this incident, so Kelby, who was an ex-boxer, hunted Mark Richardson down and beat him up. The next year, Kelby was shot in the back but survived. The feud continues to this day, with Kelby being shot outside his mum's house, but this would prove valuable as the chaos that was about to explode would see the biggest crime surge Scotland has ever seen. Mark Richardson, who had been at the top of his game for years, bought £500,000 worth of cocaine from up-and-comer Ross Miami McGill using fake banknotes. This infuriated McGill, who waged war against Mark Richardson, the Daniels family, and anyone associated with them. This war seen over 80 crimes and 63 people arrested. The Daniels and Richardson clans had a target wherever they went, and naturally carried out their own hits, notably the shooting in Costa del Sol, the night of the Champions League final. During the McGill carnage, multiple senior Lyons members fled to the Costa del Sol for safety. Stephen Lyons' brother, Eddie Lyons Jr. and his best friend Ross Monaghan fled there, where they went to Monaghan's bar, owned by Ross. The pair were standing out the front when a car pulled up. A gunman ran out and opened fire, killing Eddie instantly. The gun then jammed, giving Ross the opportunity to run. The gunman chased him and finished him inside the bar. Michael Riley, 45 from Liverpool, was extradited from the UK to face sentencing for his crimes against the duo. Everything was crumbling for Stephen Lyons, which he knew himself as he boarded a flight in Singapore to go to Bali in early April 2026. As Stephen stepped off at Bali, he was arrested at the request of Guardia Civil to face crimes committed in Spain. Stephen was also caught in an alleged plot to smuggle hundreds of kilos of cocaine into Scotland. Right now, Stephen is in a prison awaiting sentencing. Who knows how long he will get? From being at the top of his game to being in prison in a different country. This is Stephen Lyons.